want a baby before or after 30?
Oh Lord, that's a big question.
The topic of marriage is fascinating because on the one hand, we have people, or there's a trend that is solely against marriage because it doesn't benefit either parties. But when we see another person get married, everybody begins to make fun of and abuse the people that are baby daddies, baby mamas, mainly because, inherently speaking, people see themselves in them. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. It is a fact that marriage, or the number of marriages happening today, is far, far less compared to a century ago, a couple decades ago even. We can say that the decline in marriage, especially in the black community, can be due to several things: slavery, government policies that actually put women in a difficult situation and actually force them to be single mothers or pretend to be single mothers to get additional aid from the government. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to focus on principles and the ideals. Now, a lot of people say that marriage is a partnership. Humbly speaking, in my opinion, I do not think so. I think marriage is like the combination of two different people coming together to make a new formula. It's like adding two colors. White and black will give you gray. And there's no separation anymore. So to me, when two people get married, hopefully, or in my view, I view it as her life doesn't exist anymore. His life doesn't exist anymore. It is now one life, but is mixed and is to be agreed upon by two people from two different backgrounds. And I feel like this is where a lot of people have different opinions on this.
Now, I do admit, should you sacrifice and give so much of yourself to a person that is not reciprocating with you in a relationship? Absolutely not. But I do believe when you're dating, it's like auditioning for a role, and you must show and prove in order to earn that position. But there's one issue. People know how to get people, but they don't know how to keep them. People don't know how to sustain or maintain any type of healthy relationship. Some people only like you, only have feelings for you. And to me, it takes more than feelings and even love for a relationship to work, even if you want to get married. You have to have a goal in mind. You have to be disciplined, and you have to work together. And to the men and women watching this, to stop premature pain. To my ladies, if you know that you want to be a wife, stop trying to be a wife to a man that you know is not capable of being a husband. To my fellas, if you know that you want to be a husband, stop giving yourself to a woman that is not a wife.
A lot of people try to put the things that they should be discussing at the beginning towards the end, and people place what is important at the end at the beginning. People focus a lot on money. People focus a lot on fashion. People focus a lot on aesthetics, independence, sex. Now, even though all those things have their importance in a marital union and in a relationship, they are not the pillars that keep marriage alive or even keep marriage working. And all because you're married does not mean you have a successful marriage. You're married because you may have kids. You're married because you don't want people to say things about you or say bad things about you, depending on what you've been standing upon in the community that you're in. But all because two people live together doesn't mean they're happily married. And I'll put that as a disclaimer. In this world, we have so many people that come from different types of families. Some people were raised in a single parent family, single dad, single mom. Other people were raised with both parents, but in a very toxic environment. Very few people get raised in a happy, healthy, marital family home. Now, there are also others that have made terrible decisions when it comes to who they choose to lay on the bed with and have a child with. And because of that, it has led to various unforeseen circumstances that may have led them to give up on chasing the dream of family, chasing the dream of marriage. And frankly, I don't believe this is something that you chase. I think this is something that just comes to you when you're in the right state of mind.
You asked him, either one. If you guys have a final question, if you don't have one, that's fine. Do you like to travel?
Yeah, I like to travel.
Have you been out the country?
Yes, I have. I was in the Navy, so I've been a few places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You got kids?
I do.
How many kids you got?
I have one.
You been married before?
I have not.
Sorry, that's a deal breaker. I mean, how old are you?
38.
Yeah, 38. Never been married. Got kids. That's a deal breaker. I don't like quitters. You might as well stay single. Probably good at it.
Oh,
But at the end of the day, it comes down to this. For a union to be made best as it can possibly be, it comes down to the two people that are willing to make it work. A lot of people are distracted by temporary things. Some people are only worried about the short term. When you think about the reasons why people divorce, you'll be surprised to wonder what stopped you guys from having this conversation in the first place. And maybe some people think that it will just happen naturally. For some people, religion is important. They don't ask those questions. For some people, family planning, the number of kids is important. They don't ask those questions. Or sometimes people are just distracted by the aesthetics of people or by things that may not even matter in the long run. And this is when it comes down to dealing with differences and dealing with conflict. Some people just can't handle conflict, and that's okay. Not everybody is meant to be married. Now, if you're not meant to be married, should you be having a kid outside marriage? That's a whole different question. But it's still best to know that two parents need to be involved when it comes to the raising of a child. Zendaya and Tom are one of the few that have gotten married or are planning to get married at this point in time. It doesn't mean that everything will end well or end the way they want it, but at least they're making the decisions together, and that's the important thing. How you get them is how you keep them. How you got in is most likely how you're going to stay in there. There needs to be a freedom in marriage. I personally believe there needs to be freedom balanced with restrictions, but in a healthy way. Because there is a formula for all these things. As complicated as human beings are, I do not think we are that complicated. We're complicated, but not that bad. So, we just need to learn what works. And if you choose to do it, sure, hopefully it works for you. If it doesn't, figure out what works for you.